Hi, I'm Nick Newski. I'm from Bayonne, New Jersey, and I'm a musician.
Hey, I'm Josiah Eng. I'm from Jersey City, and I'm a future engineer.
Hi, my name is Stephen Oro. I'm from Roselle Park, New Jersey, and I am a developer.
My name is Declan Wallard. I'm from Maplewood, New Jersey, and I'm a future doctor. Please excuse my voice. I'm getting over a sickness.
I'm Steve Malad. I'm from Englewood, New Jersey, and I am a future economist.
Hello, my name is Clark Burnett. I'm from Greenbrook, New Jersey, and I am a filmmaker.
Hi, my name is Richard Messina. I'm from Clifton, and I am an aspiring programmer.
My name is Mark Wright. I'm from Bayonne, New Jersey, and I am an actor and a marauder.
My name is Matt Sullivan. I'm from Secaucus, New Jersey, and I am a learner.
Hi, my name is Josh Maceda. I'm from Jersey City, and I'm an avid gamer.
Hi, I'm Nick Magnotti. I'm from Milburn, New Jersey, and I'm a mechanical engineer.
Hi, I'm Patrick Huggins. I'm from Little Falls, New Jersey, and I'm a bioenvironmental engineer.
Hello, I'm Daniel Garrett. I'm from Secaucus, and I'm a Latin scholar.
Hello, I'm Christian Herrera. I'm from Jersey City, and I'm a computer scientist.
My name is Tage Jolly. I'm from Jersey City, and I'm a future engineer.
I'm Quinn Williamson. I'm also from Jersey City, and I'm a political activist.
Hi, I'm Carl Gokhan. I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey, and I'm a tennis player and an eventual physical therapist.
Being a Sheehan Scholar has been like an incredible opportunity for me. It actually gave me the opportunity to go to prep, and because I have a family with 3 younger sisters, it gave them the opportunity to go to private school and set up for a better launch into high school.
Obviously, the Sheehan Scholarship allowed me to go to St. Peter's Prep, and I think that opportunity in itself has provided me hundreds of other opportunities. Because of prep, I crossed an ocean, and because of prep, I was able to work with so many amazing people in the musicals and in the choir and band, and I think just being at St. Peter's Prep has in itself given me so many opportunities.
The Sheehan Scholarship is really the reason that I ended up going to prep, and it's the first time. Prep is really the first time that I've been able to express myself like independently, going across the country for retreats and service trips.
When I got the letter that I had the Sheehan Scholarship and that I had been accepted, it was kind of unreal. I just kind of didn't know kind of how to react to that, because I had never expected that I would be able to do really anything much as far as getting scholarships from a place like prep.
It was great to feel that someone was saying essentially, you are qualified, you are capable of being part of this group of really, passionate, intelligent people.
It kind of changed everything about prep for me. Before becoming a Sheehan Scholar, I was, regular student. I had a scholarship here, but it was special, and I was happy I had a scholarship. But being moved up to a full Sheehan Scholarship really showed me that hard work can pay off, and it opened my eyes to the fact that people recognized a lot of the hard work that I've been doing in the years I was at prep.
You can't turn down a free education. But then I got word that I might, even just the idea that I might get this scholarship, but I was like, holy. So I started looking into how I would attend prep. Prep's about an hour away from where I live. So we figured out a plan where I'd stay with my uncle in Jersey City. I stayed with him in Jersey City, and I think it was one of the most eye-opening experiences in my life.
When I got the scholarship, I was beyond excited, because that means my parents wouldn't have to pay for high school, and for me, that money was saved up, and I'd be paying for college myself, but any money that was saved from high school, my parents would be contributing to my college, so that was beyond amazing for me.
I would say that this scholarship, one thing for my family, it allowed my brother, it eased the financial burden, which would allow my brother to come here instead of paying $30,000 a year for the past 2 years, but only paying $15,000. So that was really helpful.
The Sheehan Scholarship afforded us the opportunity to go to prep. Obviously, we're both from Jersey City, so we wouldn't have had to go to one of the public schools.
Yeah, our parents would definitely not have been able to afford this education, this wonderful education that we got at prep.
Getting the scholarship was a very big deal. I remember when I heard the news, it was just insane because my mother was told where to go to school because of money issues. And she always said that she never wanted that to happen to us.
So becoming a Sheehan Scholar really helped out my family a lot in terms of putting me through high school at St. Peter's Prep, my top choice high school. My grandfather and my father both went to a Jesuit school in the Philippines, in Manila, Ateneo de Manila. So I knew that in America, I wanted to also attend a Jesuit high school and continue that tradition that has been so closely knit to my family. And being able to attend St. Peter's Prep has enabled me to continue that.
With that, like the options that we were given, especially in that last summer that we had last year, I got to go to Cornell where I got to meet a bunch of incredible people there, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without the support of Mr. Sheehan.
I also went to Stevens Institute of Technology for 2 weeks, and that's actually where I'll be going in September. So that was a very good experience for me. It helped me decide where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do there.
My favorite Sheehan experience was the week that I recently spent at Brown University. I was able to explore my passions in computer science. I learned a lot more than I expected to. Made some friends which I still keep in touch with, and it was just a completely different thing. I was able to get a little taste of the college life, and I loved it.
Honestly, you know, I didn't have quite as many Sheehan experiences as others because of how I was moved up to a Sheehan Scholar later in my prep career, but I guess one of the things that really has stuck with me is just a couple weeks ago when we took the picture of all of us, all as Sheehan Scholars, the seniors. And we were all wearing our college sweaters, and we just took a picture up front, and it just kind of, I just looked at everyone, and it was just funny to see how far we've come and to see how we've all developed, and I think it's really a testament to how much being a Sheehan Scholar has helped.
I think that the retreat was definitely helpful as a formative experience, but I'd say that my favorite Sheehan experience was actually the summer in Richmond. I went to Stevens for 2 weeks, and I did a program where we looked at every different field of engineering, and it helped me narrow my scope and understand that I really wanted to go into chemistry, biology, very life-oriented or engineering program.
Next year I'll be attending Yale University.
Next year I will be attending Stevens Institute of Technology in Hoboken.
The fact that I received the scholarship later than everyone else, the fact that it was a reminder to me that I could aim high, that I was capable of aiming high, that in itself affected my college decision, or my college choice, because I then felt qualified to apply to the schools that I did. And I think that's an important thing, you know, to be told that it's okay to aim high.
And also being a Sheehan Scholar really gave me the motivating force to work even harder in high school. I saw that there was a tangible reward to my hard work in school, and working hard really did pay off because I got a full scholarship to Northeastern, so that's greatly owed to being a Sheehan Scholar.
Next fall I'll be going to Columbia University, and really that college choice came out of being pushed by the other Sheehan Scholars. They're all such strong students and focused academically that we push each other to really strive.
It's competitive, but in a friendly way. You know, I see Quinn do something, I'm like, you know, I can do that and I can do it one better. I'm going to Johns Hopkins next fall, and even aside from the whole pushing each other to be our best, all the other programs we get in the Sheehan Scholarship, the summer programs and stuff, they let us explore. So I didn't want to be an engineer initially, but you know, all the Sheehan program enabled me to make an educated choice.
Yeah, amongst all the experiences that I've been given the opportunity to go to by Mr. Sheehan, by far my favorite was the summer experience. I got to spend 3 weeks on a college campus, realize what I liked and realize what I didn't like, got to meet a ton of incredible people, a bunch of whom I still keep in touch with, and I just, you know, I was not able to do that otherwise.
I think the summer enrichment program for me was also really big because just I wouldn't have been able to have gone without the money that was given from the scholarship. I studied engineering for a month at Johns Hopkins in a program called Engineering Innovation. It was a month-long program. It was an introduction to engineering class that was fit into the span of a month, and we worked for the credit for that class. And I think it was the most academically intense thing that I've ever done, but also one of the most enjoyable because I met so many talented people who were driven in the same field that I really want to get into. And I mean, being able to study there for a month, I mean, the price, it's always something to keep in mind, and I really wouldn't have been able to have gone if it wasn't for the scholarship. So I'm really glad for that experience, and I wouldn't have traded that July of classes and papers and lab reports for anything.
My favorite Sheehan experience would have to be the summer enrichment program. Last summer, as a result of the subsidizing from the Sheehan scholarship, I was able to do two things instead of picking one, right? So I got to travel to Ecuador with the school on a service trip, and while I was down there, I worked on a documentary that I'm still creating. I also got to take a course at Brown University for a week on privacy in the digital age.
Last summer, Mr. Sheehan gave me a grant that allowed me to travel to Europe with our school's choir, Prep Fox. And I had never been out of the country before. And we went half a world away. We went to Wales and Latvia and London and Paris. And there we won a category in the World Choir Games, which was insane. And that whole experience really was not just a vacation. It was anything but. We were hard at work the whole time. And it really showed me how teamwork pays off, and the community that our choir is, and the kind of men that our school builds, and the kind of friends that the school has given me that I've made because I went here. And so that trip was just incredible, and it wouldn't have been able to happen without Mr. Sheehan.
I took a microeconomics course at NYU. And it was a 6-week course, but it really did open my eyes up to what college will be like, and it gave me something to look forward to.
I think one of the best parts of the Sheehan experience was when Mr. Sheehan funded our summer programs, whatever it may be. I know you went to Costa Rica. The summer program allowed me to go to Alabama for a month and a half and intern at NASA. So I wouldn't have been able to do that without the Sheehan program.
Yeah, Anastasia mentioned I went to Costa Rica for 10 days on Mr. Sheehan's cab. Thank you, Mr. Sheehan. And that was a service trip. We spent the 10 days working at a school, building a recycling center, which was really, really cool work. And then we also started leveling a backyard in a church. And I think the community was called El Hobo. And we leveled the backyard of a church to build a daycare there.
So the way I like to give back is by tutoring and by helping other students along. Even in college, tutoring for free to students who are struggling.
Any way that I can spread education or understanding or open people up to new experiences at all would be a way that I could give back in the future, whether I'm helping people with programs, setting up opportunities for anyone that I can find in whatever means that I have at the time is something that I would definitely try to do to give back.
If I had to ask Mr. Sheehan anything, I'd probably want to know some of his memories from prep, and some examples of things and some maybe people that inspired him to still be in love with his school and still be proud of his school and donate and allow other people to experience what he experienced. So I'd like to know some stories from his days about what inspired him and kept him so proud to be called a Marauder all these years.
One question that I would really like to ask Mr. Sheehan is his advice about achieving success in whatever field that you're going into. I think that networking is a really essential aspect of making connections that you'll need in whatever field you're going to. And I would really like to know how Mr. Sheehan made the connections that he used in order to grow his own personal business.
My question for Mr. Sheehan would be, what do you recommend? What would you say is the most important lesson that you take away from good time in college.
One piece of advice I'd really like to ask from Mr. Sheehan is just how to build yourself, I think, because that's something that I really admire about you, Mr. Sheehan, is the idea to take whatever situation after, like, going through college and after that, but building yourself up to this amazing point where you've been, that you can give back. And that's something that always resonated with my family particularly.
In the spirit of the Sheehan program, what I'm going to be working on over my next years is making sure that other students attending prep will have the ability to get the same self-tutelage in the computer science field that I did.
The way that I would like to give my generosity is by how you decided to help students who show a promise of competence, but you do not necessarily know them. I also want to be there, giving sort of a financial push to help students who want to also achieve their dreams and look like they can achieve their dreams, even though I may not necessarily know them.
There's so many ways I can see myself giving back to prep in the future. The Ignatian Scholars, they have the Alumni Achievers events, so I'd definitely be open to doing something like that if they'd have me. And there's so many things that can be added to prep even thus far, like additional labs, additional programs in the sciences, which is my area of expertise. I'm sure you'd be able to add other programs.
And not just to prep, but in my community I actually started an organization called the Jersey City Youth Alliance. And what we do is basically tutor, mentor, and give presentations to local schools. And right now we have a partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. And that's my way of giving back to my community, just working with those kids who don't have the same opportunities that we have to go to such a wonderful school and be afforded all these different privileges. So that's how I gave back.
Although I have many good memories at prep, I think my most lasting memory of prep would be at the robotics competition. I think that the fact that we did so well and that we succeeded in far beyond our expectations, I think, is what really gets me motivates me to do well. Just the fact that we were able to accomplish something that we didn't think that we could.
I've also been able to, as a part of the track team, find athletic ability in myself and just really be multifaceted here at prep and be a part of so many different communities inside the larger prep family.
I guess the biggest takeaway from prep, as well as it's tied into my biggest memory, is just the pure value of meeting your friends and knowing that someone's got your back and you've got theirs. And so that kind of ties into the first time I actually felt that at prep. In freshman year, we had gone to Ohio to compete in the World Choir Games. There was a group of about, I'd say like 20 of us, and we were backstage just waiting for our first performance as a group ever, hopping onto a competition stage. And there was just an open, empty room and a piano, and Mr. Laria sat down and we sang pretty much every song we'd ever done that one year, and everyone knew the words, everyone felt each other around them, and everyone knew that each other person was someone that they could count on no matter what.
One of the most important things for Ignatian spirituality for me is probably the examen. It's one of those things where it's like, it's not completely religious, but then it makes you look at yourself and take a look at what you have done and what you've accomplished through the week and where you've fallen short. And I feel like that's one of the things that you need to become a better person.
My biggest takeaway from prep has to be the late hours and the extra hours that I put in. One example of that is my music supplement that I did for Stevens. I remember being at prep at like 10 p.m. just trying to get the recording right with Mr. Laria and his friend. We were just really working hard at night, and it felt good to really pull it all together, and it really gave a wholesome experience to my prep career.
I really don't want to forget the people. And I'm not just talking about my good friends and the people that I am involved with in activities. Just the general vibe of the school is so indescribable.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehan. Thank you, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehan.